Niners fans and Bears fans. It's about that time. 7:30 on a Thursday night. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, J in the Bay. And it's a pleasure, always a pleasure to be on with the best fans in the NFL, the faithful, the Niner Empire. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys. Hopefully, everyone's having a great, productive week. It's a Thursday night tonight. We are less than 5 hours away from a payday Friday. If you've been watching Jay and the Bay, you know ain't nothing better than a payday Friday. Hopefully, everyone's having a great week so far. We will be talking about the 49ers and Bears game. I will have a special guest with me. He should be coming in any second now. Shout out to everyone watching on Jay and the Bay Facebook, Jay and the Bay YouTube, Jay and the Bay Twitter. Also, we can't forget the good old Spotlight Sports Network. Shout out to everyone with the Spotlight Sports Network. Shout out to everyone who's watching from there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff. But thanks everyone for tuning in to this stream. And this show is nothing. This show is nothing without the fans, without the people in the chat. I want you guys to be part of this conversation where we're talking about the Niners and Bears. Let's say what's good to the people in the chat. Let's get it. First, we got CG Ruthless Sports. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, CG. Hopefully, you having a good, productive day, man. Thanks for tuning in. KD, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, KD. He says, hello, Jay in the Bay and Malcgoolie. Hey, I appreciate you for coming through to the stream, KD. Pioneer, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Pioneer. Hopefully, you're having a great Thursday night. Let's see. SMH, what's good? Appreciate you for coming through to the stream, man. Thanks for tuning in. But until Malcgoolie gets here, why not talk about the latest 49ers news? So, obviously, there's news about Javon Kinlaw, and he's having setback with his knee injury. It looks like he could be opting for he could be opting for season-ending surgery. That's very unfortunate for Javon Kinlaw. I heard he was in LA. He had an appointment with the doctor, a second opinion to see what he should do, because it doesn't seem like his knee is getting any better at this point. I would hate for him to have season-ending surgery for his knee, because we definitely need him on our defensive front, but it seems like his knee is not getting any better. But we just got to hope. I know some people are saying, Javon Kinlaw is a bust. I don't know anything about that. He had a solid rookie year. Second year, he hasn't met expectations yet. But we still have him under contract for the next 3 years, and hopefully he can make the most out of his opportunity during those next 3 years. Deneen, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Hopefully you having a great night. Thanks for tuning in. John, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, John. I appreciate everyone saying what's up. I want to see you guys active in the chat. What do you guys think about Javon Kinlaw? Do you guys think Javon Kinlaw is a bust so far? I've been seeing that on Twitter, but I don't think Javon Kinlaw is a bust. I think it's unfortunate that he's had these knee issues. He had these same issues in college, and the 49ers still opted to draft him. That's a questionable decision right there, but I'm not, giving up hope on Kinlaw. If he does have to opt for that season-ending surgery, that'll give someone else an opportunity to step up in his place and make the most out of their opportunity. So if Javon Kinlaw does have that season-ending surgery, we just got to hope that the surgery is successful, and then he'll be ready for next year. That's all we can really hope for at this point. Let's see. KD says no, not yet in regards to Javon Kinlaw being a bust. I would agree. I don't think he's a bust yet. I think if we're expecting, I know he had high expectations. He had big shoes to fill. Replacing DeForest Buckner. That's the reason we drafted Kinlaw, because we traded away DeForest Buckner. And if we're expecting Kinlaw to have, like a double-digit sack season, if we think he's going to be the next Aaron Donald, I think we're going to be disappointed for sure. But I think Javon Kinlaw, as long as he takes on double teams, he allows the linebackers behind him to make tackles, to be able to get their hands on the ball carrier. I think he does his job. He's just not going to get a lot of sacks. That's just not him. He has gotten close to the quarterback. He does get some hurries, but he's not going to be a double-digit sack guy. That's just not Javon Kinlaw. I just don't see that in his future. But we still have, like I said before, we still have Javon Kinlaw under contract for the next 3 years, so I don't anticipate us moving off of him at all. Not at all. I would imagine he would play out the remainder of his contract with the 49ers. We got Key in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, Key. Key in the building is also a part of that good old Spotlight Sports Network, so shout out to you, Key in the building. Hopefully you're having an excellent week, and we one day from a payday Friday. Nothing better than a payday Friday, Key. You know what it is. And she says, what's up, Jay? I appreciate you coming through to the stream. I appreciate that. KD says, what jersey are you wearing? I got the Frank Gore jersey tonight, number 21, Frank Gore. He's got the most rushing yards ever in a 49ers uniform. He's probably, I would say, I know some people say Roger Craig. I know some people say Frank Gore, but I think Frank Gore is probably the best running back, in our 49er franchise history, I think. So, but yeah, I got the Frank Gore on today. I'm feeling good. The Spotlight Raiders talk. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. He says, let's go, bro. Man, them Raiders, they're looking good, man. I can't even front, man. I don't know what it is, but since Gruden got canned, the Raiders, they've been playing pretty good. I mean, they were playing pretty well with Gruden, but the Raiders are off to a fantastic start. I think you guys are, was it 4-2 or 5-2? But hey, good luck to your Raiders, man. They're looking pretty good. They look like they can contend in that AFC West division, man. I'm definitely surprised by that. But, hey, that's why they play the games, man. Deneen says, Ian, now Jay. Okay. Pioneer says, all I wanted from Kinlaw is to be a run stuffer and be consistent. I agree with that. I want him to stuff the run, take on double teams, and just do it at a consistent level, like Pioneer said. I would agree with that. Pioneer says he can't do what I want at all. He's a bust because I'm not wasting my time with the fatter Todd Gurley. Tell me how you really feel, Pioneer. So I think Kinlaw can do those things. He can be a run stuffer. He can take on double teams. I think when Kinlaw was in the game, our run defense was much better with Kinlaw in there than without. And I think we will be a better defense with Kinlaw when he comes back healthy, whenever that is. The Spotlight Raiders talk says we're 5-2. It's all love, bro. Absolutely, man. Y'all doing big things over there in Vegas, man. I know we had our roundtable talk at the beginning of the year. I think it was for the preseason game between the Raiders and Niners. But you guys are surprising me, that's for sure. I did not think you would be 5-2 at this point, but Derek Carr seems like he's taking that next step, and he's looking good, man. He's looking good. I can't lie. Brett, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, Brett. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night. CG Ruthless says, I'm pumped for the 49ers versus Bears. I am too, man. I am too. The Bears have some injuries. I know Khalil Mack, he won't be playing due to, I think, a foot injury. I heard Akeem Hicks has a groin issue. He did not practice today, so he'll probably be most likely a game time decision for Sunday's game in Chicago. That's going to be an early start, too. It's going to be a 10 a.m. start, West Coast time, of course. So that's going to be something that's not in the favor of the 49ers, but I think we should do well in this game. I would not be surprised at all if we win this game. CG Ruthless says Kinlaw needs to go to Dr. Andrews. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. KD says, if you were the coach for this Sunday's game, who would be your starting quarterback? Man, great question. I did see Trey Lance practice, and he didn't look like he had any limitations. Um, you know, at the beginning of the year, I was definitely a supporter of Jimmy G. You guys know, I would say Jimmy G, that's my quarterback. And I envisioned he would play similar to that of the year 2019. And unfortunately, we haven't seen that. Some people will say, hey, there hasn't been a consistent running game since Raheem Mostert has been out. But Jimmy G's been inaccurate. The offensive line hasn't been great either. But if it was up to me and Trey Lance is healthy, do I want Trey Lance to start on the road in Chicago? I don't know. But then I've seen what I need to see from Jimmy G. We know what he brings to the table. Part of me would just go with Trey. I think I would go with Trey Lance at this point. We're on a 4-game losing streak. Something needs to change. And I know people love to say, hey, Jimmy G, all he does is win. But so far, he hasn't really lived up to that so far. But looks like we do have our guest in the building tonight. Goes by the name of Malcgoolie. He is a Chicago Bears fan. Let's say what's good to Malcgoolie. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. I'm trying to recover. Let
me know if you need a few more minutes. Let me know when you're ready.
Let me just put on this hat and then I'll be ready.
Okay.
Man, J in the Bay, bruh. That Bulls game.
I take it you guys lost.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan. He was getting double teamed. Vuka was open. He didn't see him, and that happened.
Yeah, you're not gonna win them all, man. But
I know, but it would have been. Start, though. Yeah, I mean, but let me cam up.
Okay,
I'm cammed. What is up, everyone? Let me put the Bulls hat up.
So we have Malcgoolie is now in the building. He represents them good old Chicago Bears. Let me get your name up here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. All right, there we go. J in the Bay and Malcgoolie. All right. There was one comment from the Spotlight Radio Talk. He says, "Why is everyone getting injured on the Niners, bro? Y'all about to have the replacements out there, man." I don't know what it is. I know the Niners have to change their philosophy as far as signing players who have been injury prone or who have had multiple injuries throughout the years. That's definitely one thing the Niners have to change. You cannot continue to add players to the team who have had serious injuries in the past. And some players, they can't stay healthy, and that's kind of just what it is. But Malcgoolie, since you are now in the building, first I gotta say what's good. That's how I greet all my guests. That's how I greet everyone in the chat. So we got to start off with how long you been a Chicago Bears fan?
I've been a Chicago Bears fan since 2003. 2003. Originally, I wasn't a Bears fan. I was a naive, very dumb child. I tried to follow the footsteps of my father. Okay. And my father is get this. Pray for my mother, ladies and gentlemen. My father is a Green Bay Packers fan.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I only like Green Bay because of one man. And that man is known as Brett the Hitman Favre.
Hey, he's a legend.
He's a legend. But then when Brett left, I was like, screw. When Brett was starting to decline, and when I was watching Bears games, thank God for my uncles. God rest their souls. It made me watch, a Bears game once, and then there was one time I was watching. I think it was the game. I believe the game. I think it was when they took on the Browns, and Mike Brown, no pun intended, scored a pick six to win the game. And I remember the announcer saying, "Like this, it's intercepted, and the Bears are gonna win it." Mike Brown has done it again. Mike Brown, it was right there. Mike Brown was one of the big reasons why I became a Chicago Bear fan, because I was going to play some ESPN 2K5 because if you guys remember that game, the one with T.O. on the cover.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing that, and I have Mike Brown. Get this, I got Mike Brown, Troy Polamalu, Charles Tillman, R.W. McCorders. Yes, I traded Jerry Azuma for a Patriots corner, and then he totally regressed. Then I drafted a cornerback name. I think his name is Abel Rodriguez. Dude, already playing with him. Already got a pick six, 21-yard pick six. And I also got Mr. Jonathan Abraham on the defensive line.
Hey, he's
Yeah,
a beast. He can
I
definitely.
have. You could say I have basically the best defense in all of football. I still have Lance Briggs, and I still have Brian Urlacher. And our first year, we won the Super Bowl. So I'm trying to go back to back, and the game is not making it easy for me. But hey, it's all good. And I traded Rex Grossman for Drew Brees. So
you got a pretty
early
good squad over there. Hey, but
if only the squad was like that in real life.
No, I dig it. I was curious, why did you decide to start a YouTube channel?
Well, number one, when it started with YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers I can name that was the fuel to the fire. Number one wasn't really sports at first. It was straight up wrestling content. And it was people like Good Mike Work and Wrestle Talk and Wrestling with Regret. And at first, like the Malcgoolie channel was supposed to be a multiple friend type of channel, but instead it went from a multiple man channel, which didn't work out because a lot of people were busy. So I was the only one working on it, to making it an individual. It used to be a straight up DVD, old school wrestling DVD review, and then it became a wrestling show. Then when I started adding Chicago sports media into the mix, and we're off to the races. I think 1,250 crazy mofos can attest to that. Or 52 now because of earlier with the with CJ with CG Ruthless Sports, which I did a interview with him earlier about the pregame about the 49ers.
Nice. All right, man. Hey, but in regards to the Chicago Bears, let's take a trip. Let's go back to April of this year. So it's the NFL draft. The Chicago Bears. I think you guys had the 20th pick in the first round of the draft. And
Yes.
Did you anticipate drafting a quarterback in the first round?
To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't. I said on a video where a rant when Ryan Pace decided to use the most lamest excuse you can ever put on a team, and that's we focus on the cap, and that was when they got rid of Kyle Fuller, and I literally snapped, and I said that was a dumb decision, and I said, so what you're gonna get Justin Fields now? Like you're gonna get Justin Fields, even though there's no way that I think they weren't gonna get it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Bears weren't getting Justin Fields. They weren't definitely not getting him at 20. After looking up the fact that Minnesota was eyeing Justin Fields. So us being 20th, if they didn't draft the Justin Fields, what I wanted them to do is draft an O-line. Because we had Andy Dalton, and remember the rumors of Russell Wilson, Derek Carr was coming into play, and all of that became into Andy Dalton. And I was furious about it, but at the same time, I was okay with it because number one, he's a better quarterback than Trubisky is.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying Trubisky was a bad QB, but if you look at the numbers, Andy Dalton obviously is the better QB. They basically just, signed a redheaded version of Mitchell Trubisky. So I said, okay, if you think Andy Dalton is your answer, fine, I'm cool with that. Just give him an offensive line with number 20.
Right.
Get Tevin Jenkins or somebody like that. I got half my wish. And then I remember doing the Spotlight Sports Network. I don't know if you saw the video where all of us, except for D, because D was doing his thing with the Raiders, we were all doing the draft. And then when Jake told me the Bears moved up, I was in shock. But then I also got frustrated because, once again, they pulled the Khalil Mack trade. You traded your first round pick just for next year to move up to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And when they did that, I was like, really? And then people saying Mac Jones, Mac Jones, Mac Jones. I'm like, we're not getting Mac. If we got Mac Jones, I would have been PO'd, but I would have been cool with it. Because, I might just. But then it happened when I saw Justin Fields not by his TV screen, and he was on the phone. I was like, they're getting Justin Fields. They're getting Justin Fields. They're getting Justin Fields with the 11th pick of the NFL draft. The Chicago Bears select Justin Fields. Ah! Hey, Corey Davis, who is the best Chicago linebacker, Mike Singletary or Urlacher? That's a tough one. I'm going to have to go with Urlacher because that was my generation. I did see the 85 Super Bowl. Mike Singletary was a bad man, but Urlacher was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was everywhere. So, yeah, I have to go with Urlacher, even though people got to put some respect on this man's name. And that man's name is Lance Briggs.
Oh, he was a beast too. Yeah.
That dude would pop. He would hurt people. He was a assassin. But, yeah. I'm happy that we got Justin Fields, and I'm happy one of our offensive linemen is coming back this week. But yeah, and then also getting Tevin Jenkins in the second round was also a blessing in disguise. But hopefully we get to see him in week. I think they said week 10 we're supposed to see Jenkins, and I can't wait because we're gonna need him. We take on the Ravens that week, I believe, and we're gonna need them.
That's gonna be a tough game. I gotta say, what's good to Job 561. Thanks for tuning into the stream. He says, "What's up, bro? Cheering for y'all this weekend, man. I'd appreciate that." He's actually an Indianapolis Colts fan, but I appreciate that, man. And for Malcgoolie, for if there are any Bears fans in the chat right now, make sure you check out his content. All his social media links are in the description of the video. He's got Twitter, IG, YouTube. Make sure you check him out, and also leave a thumbs up for the video. Let YouTube and I know that you're enjoying the stream, and check out the Spotlight Sports Network. We both are part of the Spotlight Sports Network, so make sure you guys check that out. And we're getting a comment, of course, from the Spotlight Sports Network. What's good? Absolutely, man. Spotlight Sports Network is in the house.
and it was Joe B 561. He's a Colts fan, right?
He's a Colts fan. Yeah, because we played the Colts last week, and I had a Colts YouTuber on, and that's how me and Job met. So Job is cool. He's cool.
And Joe, this is gonna shock you, buddy. I'm in your neck of the woods. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. So everywhere is all Colts fans. Yes, I know Green Bay's winning. Yay.
And speaking of Justin Fields, so obviously you had Andy Dalton. He's the veteran quarterback. He has over 100 career starts. Obviously, he was his best with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he had an off year with the Cowboys. And obviously, Justin Fields is a rookie. So who'd you want to start week 1, Fields or Dalton?
To be honest with you, I really wanted Andy Dalton to start. But then when they said, "Oh, Justin Fields could have some reps," I'm like, "Oh Lord, please don't." I mean, here's the thing. Then why are you a Bears fan, bro? Well, Joe, that's because when you live in Gary, Indiana for 13 years, the day you were born in 94, and then you moved out the city in 2017. Here's the thing about Gary, Indiana. Bulls, Blackhawks, Bears, Chicago Sky, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, everything Chicago media. They would never show the Colts. Never show the Colts. So, yeah, like when it comes to the Colts, I could care less about the Colts. I mean, I'm not saying that they're a horrible team or anything. It's just that that's not my team. They only are when I'm picking them to win the Pick'em League. That's the only time I'm like, come on, Colts, do something. But yeah. Back to the question of who I wanted to start?
Yeah.
It was Andy. It was clearly Andy because, number one, I didn't feel comfortable with the fact of Justin Fields being out there, especially with a very mean Aaron Darnold. I expected, Andy to start. And Andy did okay, but the problem was the execution on offense, and then the defense giving up. Because personally, this team, in my opinion, should be 4-2. But originally, the way how offense has, the way how Matt Nagy has, you are what your record is. We're 3-4. Personally, we should be 2-5. Because I'm sorry, and D, I know you're in here watching, but I'm sorry, bro. That win against the Raiders was a fluke. It was by luck. Us beating the Raiders was a fluke victory. I don't care what any Bears fans say. I mean, I was happy we beat them, but it was a fluke to me.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday, true. But
look at the game tonight. I think the Packers and Cardinals. I mean, the Packers were without their two best wide receivers, and they're beating the Cardinals right now. So
which I'm not big fond of, because the last thing I need is for Green Bay Packers fans to just roll in and say, "Oh, we're gonna win it all. We're gonna no." I need Kyle Murray to just be a beast, but it happens. I want the Colts to trade for Allen Robinson. We'll give you Allen Robinson if you give us a first-round pick, but that's not going to happen.
I don't know why the Bears haven't signed Robinson long-term yet.
Most of it is because Allen Robinson feels that he wants to be one of the top 5 wide receivers in the game. That's true, but at the same time, there be times where he'll give up. Well, not only just give up a play or drop a ball, but at the same time, he doesn't have the chemistry yet with Justin Fields, and he let that be known on yesterday in practice. And thanks to Justin Fields, and I got to give Justin Fields credit. And this is coming from a rookie quarterback. He said, and I quote, "From here on out, he wants to have Zoom meetings with all of his receivers to find out which route is good and which way, how to get people open," which I think is great for a rookie. Mitchell Trubisky didn't have that, but Mitchell or any of the quarterbacks that we have, for that matter, never had that. Justin Fields is basically that guy. That guy.
Is this the second consecutive year that the Bears have used their franchise tag on Allen Robinson?
First.
Okay.
Time.
Okay. So yeah, because it seems like he's been with you guys for a while, and he's been wanting to be paid as one of the best wide receivers. And I could have sworn this was a second year, but yeah, it just seems like it's been a lot of back and forth. And do you anticipate the Bears will sign him long term in the offseason?
They should, but only one problem. The McCaskies.
They don't want to foot the bill?
Here's the thing about the McCaskies. I don't know if everybody should know this. The McCaskey family is the most disgustingly cheap family ever in the NFL. They don't like paying people, but I think it's kind of funny that they would pay Khalil Mack all that money, pay Robert Quinn all that money, but you don't pay Allen Robinson that money. And need I remind you, this is the franchise that knows how to lowball their wide receivers. Brandon Marshall, ring a bell to all you Bears fans. Remember that contract debacle? Like, one of the best wide receivers we had, the only one that can make Jay Cutler look amazing in fantasy stats, couldn't save it because of, being cheap. I love Allen Robinson. I want him to stay. I really do. But I have this funny feeling that he will not stay. I don't think they'll pay him. And even though he really wants to stay, deep down, he wants to stay. But I think the only way Allen Robinson will stay if the following things happen. Number one, you get a new coach, you get a new GM, you get somebody that actually cares about the game of football. That's one. Two, him and Justin Fields would have to train all spring, all summer to get a good connection. Because it came to our attention that from Allen Robinson, Justin Fields, ever since he's been drafted, he's never practiced with the first reps. It's always been second and third. So, okay, I can't wait till we get on to Matt Nagy. That's your issue right there.
So, speaking of Matt Nagy, let's get into it right now.
Thank goodness.
Do you think he will be the
We
head coach?
fired? Yes. I'm just okay. Sorry, Jay. We fired? Yes. Touchdown, Arizona. Thank God.
So you think he'll last next year with Fields?
No.
Or you think
the only way Matt Nagy stays as a head coach, well, number one, mission accomplished. He stopped play calling. That's a good thing. You let the play go to Bill Lazor. And also, on a serious note, I wish him a full recovery because he does have COVID. He does have COVID, so he won't be there. And instead of Bill Lazor being the coach, our interim head coach is our special teams coach. So I don't know what they were thinking there. Hopefully he can call a good game.
Yeah.
Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I hope he does. But yeah. But Matt Nagy, do I see him staying? No. Every Bears fan in a 20-mile radius want that man fired. A lot of people are comparing him to Mark Trestman.
That
bad, people.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Who do you want the Bears to go after? Who's like your top 2 or 3 head coaching candidates going into next year?
Well, one of my now when it comes to coaches, I would love a coach with some experience. Number one, even though this is just a pipe dream, even though I give him a lot of crap all the time, Mike Tomlin. Would love for Mike Tomlin. I would love for, even though this guy should have never been fired to begin with, Lovie Smith. But if I am a guy that, wants to win and I want the Bears to focus on offense, you got to go with Kansas City's offensive coordinator.
The enemy.
The enemy has proven that he's ready to be a head coach. Yes, this year with the 49ers have been rough, and I think it's going to get rougher if Patrick Mahomes is not going to play. But he's on my list. The Ravens offensive coordinator is on my list. There's a lot, and then also, even though this is a stretch, even though I don't want him there, but I saw on some social medias they want the Patriots offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, to be the next head coach. Please, for the love of God, no. After that bullcrap in Denver, no. And what he did to the Colts, no.
Yeah. Seems like he's not going anywhere. Seems like he's going to stay in New England until Belichick retires. Pretty
much. I'm going to have to go with probably – I want Kansas City's offensive coordinator as our head coach.
Eric Bieniemy.
I want Eric Bieniemy. I believe Eric Bieniemy has the football IQ to get Justin Fields into playing like Patrick Mahomes. And I've also compared Justin Fields. Some people compare him to Patrick Mahomes. To me, I compare Justin Fields to Aaron Rodgers. I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but I see a lot of Aaron Rodgers.
A Hall of Fame player.
I've seen a lot of A-Rod and Justin Fields. If only he had an offensive line, then he would be a dangerous man to stop. We all know he can run. And
he can, yeah.
He can scramble, and we all know he can throw the deep ball. So that's one of my biggest concerns for next year. You got to get a head coach that's offensive-minded. Because at first, when they hired Nagy, I was like, okay, he learned from Andy Reid. His first year in 2018, I gave him an A+. An A. Actually, yeah, an A. Because let's be real, you took a Bears team that was 3-13, I believe, to number 1 in their division. 2019, everyone was pointing the finger at Mitchell Trubisky. I was one of them, not gonna lie. And then there was times Matt Nagy would, wouldn't adjust to his play calling. 2020 comes around. We go 8-8 for 2 consecutive years, but with a little bit of a catch. We make the playoffs thanks to your 49ers. So we owe George Kittle a Christmas card for that. Only to get curb stomped by the team that humiliated us in the Saints. So we had that to deal with. This year, if they do make the playoffs, this is what's going to happen. They will bring back Nagy because George McCaskey doesn't listen to the fans. He doesn't. Ted Phillips will probably get rehired as president. And they will probably destroy Justin Fields' confidence. Again. Well, not again, but you know what I mean. Malcgoolie, do you want Jimmy G? LOL. No.
You don't want Jimmy G as your quarterback?
Nah. But I'm pretty sure. Don't worry. Jimmy G will probably be. He will be a Denver Bronco. Remember when y'all missed the field goal to lose the playoff? Yes, and I cried. Double doink, Cody Parkey.
I got to answer this from Job. He says, how is the 49ers injury list going? The Colts injury report is fantastic. Well, I would say Javon Kinlaw, he's not expected to play. Trent Williams, I think he's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. He did not practice today. He has an ankle injury. Hopefully he'll be able to suit up. He did miss the game last week. Trey Lance was at practice today. And those are the major players who are questionable, but it's looking better so far. It's looking better. But yeah. And then Job also says, how are you feeling about this game this week? I'm sure you think y'all win, but it's not guaranteed, saying you guys are on a 4-game losing streak. I'm feeling good about the game. Unfortunately, the Bears do have some injuries along their defensive front. And I think the 49ers can take advantage of that. I think it will be a close game, but I think the 49ers do have some advantages, and we'll definitely get into that later on in the show. I gotta say, what's good to Libby's World? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Thank you for your continued support. Appreciate that. Luke Luna, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Luke. Hopefully you having a great Thursday night. I gotta ask you, Malcgoolie, what are your thoughts on Justin Fields' performances so far?
To be honest with you, do I believe that the Bears have the coaching staff to develop Fields? No. Now, as his performances, to be honest with you, I think in my mind he is the second best quarterback out in this draft class, and it really shows. Number one, I mean, granted, he beat Detroit. He looked like he was back in Ohio State. He did beat, well, no, was it Andy? Or no, was it? I don't know if it wasn't Andy. He got us the win against Cincinnati, a team that's exceeding expectations. And oh, wait a minute, hold on. One more thing, Jay in the Bay. I love how Juice is over here. Just stop by. Y'all also Ghoulie. How about the Knicks? Nah, but y'all have a good night. But you know what? Here's the thing. Juice always does this because my team lost. Since he threw shots, I'm gonna throw a big shot right back. Didn't the Bulls humiliated the Pelicans not once but twice? And also Juice is a Saints fan. Didn't remember that game against the 49ers that you guys blew? Remember the Minneapolis Miracle? Remember the interception play? Remember the fact that Green Bay was owning you for a minute?
A lot of bad memories.
Here's the best one. Remember that your division rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, won a Super Bowl? It gets even worse. And look at that. Suffer. I love that face. So, Juice, don't come at me again with my Bulls. I know we lost, but you already know. You mess with the Bull, you get the horns. You've been on my channel before. You know how this goes. Overall, I'm going to give Justin Fields I'm giving him an A because of A for his mental because he is getting sacked he is the most sacked quarterback ever in the league right now. So that's an A because he's a warrior, but overall performance is a straight up C minus D plus because he doesn't have an offensive line, and B, they're not letting him be himself, which really shows. They're trying to make him into what they wanted Mr. Trubisky to do. And guess what? It's not working out. You have to let Justin Fields do what he does. And that's why we need to fire Nagy. We need a new coaching staff. We need a new management staff so they can be like, hey, this is our franchise quarterback. We had one idiot that almost tried to kill his confidence. So let's just get someone else in here to fill the void and let this kid be the elite dog that we know he is. There's a reason why we went up to the 11th spot in the draft to get him.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him up close because during the draft, the 49ers were either going to – the people were saying Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. So I'm excited to see what he can do, and we'll have it's funny. We could have Justin Fields versus Trey Lance. That would have been very nice to see.
I would have loved to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, but hey, I'm excited to see him up close and personal on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. Now the Bears, you guys have a 3-4 record. We have a 2-4 record right now. We're not playing up to the best of our abilities. But in your opinion, what are the Bears' 3 biggest weaknesses on the team so far?
Offensive line is number one. Actually, no, let's take that back. Number one is coaching. I'm happy Matt Nagy gave up play calling. But I thought with having Bill Lazor call the plays, I was cool with. But these last 2 games, Bill Lazor has been conservative with his play calling. He's been trying to play it safe. Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, this is a developing year for Justin Fields. But if you have an opportune time to win the game, you play to win the game. Okay?
Wise man wants to.
So that number one is coaching. Number 2, the lack of offense. They have done a better job running the ball, but when it comes to passes, they are last place in offense and last place in pass offense. That's abysmal. And ever since Matt Nagy has been in charge of the helm, he has only averaged in the 25 range of offense. But he's supposed to be this offensive guru. He makes Ben McAdoo run with the Giants seem like child's play. You know how hard that is to do. So number 2, the lack of offense. And number 3, and this is the first, the defense giving up big plays. Most really big plays. Jalen Johnson giving up on covering Devontae Adams. He also did it again with Mike Evans, which was unacceptable, and that blowout against the Buccaneers. And also, they could not stop the run. You have Khalil Mack out there. You have Eddie Goldman. You have Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks, and Mack. All 3 of them can stop the run, especially Akeem.
Yeah. So
my question is, what's going on with the defensive line? Linebacker core is solid, but it's like our front 7. And no, I don't want to hear, they're getting old. No, they're not. Akeem Hicks is a beast. And even though he didn't play last week, it really showed that they needed him to stop the run. Because Leonard Fournette would have not run those many yards if Akeem would have played. Eddie Goldman is more of a pass disruptor than he is a run disruptor. That's why Akeem Hicks is your beast. That's why he's the only one to me that can stop Dalvin Cook. He can really stop Dalvin. Every time we play the Vikings, Dalvin Cook and Akeem Hicks is the matchup. So, yeah. So that's number 3. The defense is giving up big plays. Hopefully Akeem Hicks is supposed to play this week. So that should stop the running attack for the 49ers. I know you got a running back out there that's literally a beast. But, hey, we can counteract that with a man named Khalil Herbert, who's been balling out.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the Bears, you guys lead the league in sacks, but you will be without, Khalil Mack. Quinn, I hear, has COVID.
Robert
so
Quinn.
I guess,
Yep.
We'll see. And then also with Akeem Hicks, he has the growing issue. And we got Elijah Mitchell. We have Trey Sermon, but for some reason he's not getting run. but you anticipate you guys will see Elijah Mitchell and Jermichael Hasty, hopefully a big dose of that. And I think that could decide the game, the running game, because you guys statistically are average with run defense, and then you'll be without those three defenders. So I think that will be an advantage for the 49ers. KD has a question. He says, Malcgoolie, who's your offense should the 49ers should be scared of? I guess who on offense should the 49ers be concerned with?
Well, number one, the man known as Darnell Mooney is one of them. But to be honest, it's actually two people. Darnell Mooney and Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert, for the last two games, have averaged at least 100 yards or more per game. And this is our fourth string running back, mind you. This is the guy that they wanted to do for special teams. But they gave him the job to be, to run. And it's proven that he is a beast for us. Because remember, we also lost David Montgomery. And not for the year, but for like another 3 weeks. We also lost Cohen. And all we have is Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert has, oh man, like it's to the point like getting him in the 6th round was a steal. He's playing like he should be a 1st or a 2nd round pick. I mean, like it's to the point like where I'm at is that the first pick is not useless, but it all depends. You need the 1st round pick to just basically say, okay, this is where our team is heading in the right direction. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th is like the round. Like, okay, what do we need the pieces to build around that? And with Khalil Herbert, with the speed, the quickness, he's like David Montgomery. He can break tackles. I think he's from Virginia Tech, if I'm not mistaken, and he was a beast there, but only for special teams. Here, he's just running the ball like insane. Even though our offensive line is trash, that trash O-line is giving him at least something to chew on. So if I'm a 49ers defense, I would be nervous on Khalil Herbert, and I'd be nervous on Darnell Mooney because Darnell Mooney is fast, very fast.
Yeah,
and the corner situation with the 49ers is very, very suspect.
You're right about that. Our secondary is not playing up to its potential right now. I would say that. And especially the last few weeks, we've had several penalties in the secondary, which have just hurt us. You can't beat yourself. You got to beat the opponent, but you got to give yourself the best chance to do that. And you can't do that with turnovers and penalties. And so hopefully we can turn that around. But I got to say, what's good to Blue True? I appreciate that $5 super chat. Blue True says, happy Thursday, Jay in the Bay and Malcgoolie. Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
BAL, what's good? BAL says, what's good? Like, share, and subscribe. JDW Sports Talk Show, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night. And one thing with the 49ers, our run defense is average as well. We don't do great against the run. I think we're in like the 15 to 20 range, so there could be opportunities for the Bears there. But as you mentioned, your offensive line isn't great, but we're also missing a few players on our defensive line. So we'll see. I guess we'll see what gives. But I think, Fields, he's only completing about 57% of his passes right now. I think there will be opportunities. As long as we don't beat ourselves with penalties in the secondary, I think there will be opportunities maybe to get maybe an interception or two from Fields because he seemed to do that. And he's a rookie. That's kind of what you expect. He's going to make some mistakes. So
even though some of these interceptions, like the one with Green Bay, should have been a free play, but unfortunately it wasn't. And I got to say the officiating this year has been terrible. Very, very terrible.
And you mentioned the offensive players who you think will be very impactful. What about on the defensive side of the ball? Who do you think will be the most impactful player on Sunday?
Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is a dog, and I'm sorry. Roquan Smith is playing like he's playing with a purpose, and that purpose is, hey, I should be among that elite of NFL talent that should be on the NFL 100 list. And he should have. He got snubbed. And another person on the defensive side that a lot of people don't really talk about that much it gotta be you gotta put not Jalen Johnson, but Eddie Jackson on there as well. Eddie did say that he wants some Eddie turnovers. He wants some interceptions. He said it's coming. The interceptions are coming. Like the interceptions are coming. You just have to be patient. And I'm being patient because apparently I won't be singing Return of the Mac, but I would love to sing. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I'm glad Khalil Mack won't be playing. That'll definitely work in the 49ers' favor because I can imagine if you guys had, Quinn, Hicks, and Mack all playing.
Oh, yeah.
Our offensive line is not great at pass blocking, and that would have been, a lot worse for us. That's for sure.
And also Mario Edwards Jr. is another person. If he
he's a good pass rusher.
Good pass rusher, and as long as he can stay disciplined, then this is going to be like an even playing field, basically. What is up, Sleeping Angels?
What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. The Sleeping Angels already subscribed to you?
Yes. Cool. Him and Damian Hernandez.
Cool. Appreciate that. He says the taunting rule sucks.
Yeah, the taunting rule sucks, but hey, it's the NFL. And Green Bay is going for it on 4th and goal. They're on the 1 yard line.
Wow.
But yeah, those are my impactful players for the offense.
Well, let's get to the moment everyone's been waiting for. Who wins Sunday's game and why?
I'm not going to toot my own horn. I believe I said this after the 49er game. Not the 49er game, the Buccaneer game, that this is one of those games that it's a must win. And it's a winnable game. The 49ers is a winnable game, but granted, they're just because their record is 2-5 doesn't mean anything. Because they're still a very talented team. I have Chicago winning 27-21. I think Khalil Herbert will be the X factor in this game. I think he will have 2 touchdowns for 150 yards.
Wow.
And Justin Fields will get a touchdown pass. And I don't believe, as much as I would love Allen Robinson to get the pass, but I think it gets to Cole Kmet or Jimmy Graham. One of those 2 guys are going to have to step up in the big way because we need our tight ends to get involved. And Damian, who is the 85 nut. Yeah, by the way, before I should have mentioned this earlier, Jay in the Bay. Bears fans are based off of 3 sections. There's 3 sections of the fan base. And I told CG about this earlier. Number 1, like Damian here, the 85 nuts. Now, what is the 85 nuts, you may ask? Oh, we have a caliber defense. Oh, we're so impatient. Oh, we're so unlikable. Oh, we're so this. Oh, we're so that. Let's just say they're the annoying part of the fan base that's so delusional that they don't know what's going on around them. Second of Bear America fan base. Number 2 is the wishy-washy Bear fans. Some of them agree to the 3rd fan base, which I'll get to, and then some agree with those 85 nuts, saying, "Oh, it's this guy's fault. It's this guy's fault. Justin Fields is terrible, even though he's a freaking rookie. What the hell did you expect? He's just a freaking rookie. Oh, we should have. Andy Dalton's better. Well, of course he's better, but." See, there's no wishy-washy Bears fans are the worst. They are the worst. They're the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth to Bear America. And then there's 3, the peanut punches. Me and Sleeping Angels over here and a few other from my channel are in this debate. We know what's going on. Is Matt Nagy the problem on offense? Yes. Can't think of his name. Cannot think of his name. Right. Can't even think of his name. Oh, is Ryan Pace a bad GM? After getting rid of Kyle Fuller and Kyle Fuller being on the trade block, maybe Ryan Pace is on something. Granted, he still need to get fired. Oh my God. What does he say? We can't protect Fields. Dang it. He's getting 12 sacks. I'm calling it now. See, 85 nut. And also, it's a tradition because every time when we do with an 85 nut, this is what we do with Damien all the time. He has to sit in the corner and think about what he's done. We call it the kitty corner. Not kitten corner, the kitty corner, because he's acting like a perpetual freaking child. Now, the peanut punches of Bear America, we look at stats. We look at everything. We know who to blame. And it starts with the McCaskies. Intro Thunder.
But you can't fire the owner.
You can't fire the owner, but oh boy, I hate saying this. To quote Urinating Tree, we are in the same bout that Blackhawks fans were in over a decade and a half ago. Lord forgive me. We are waiting for the owner to die. When the patriarch of the Bears croaks, they want the family to be sucked from power, that her family will move off to the Hamptons. And I don't wish death on nobody, and I never will. But Bears fans are so ruthless and so despicable. Sometimes they are waiting for Virginia to go, which is sad. It's pathetic. Yeah, See, this is why the peanut punches of Bear America are the only two teams, are the only fan base of that Bear franchise that has common sense. Granted, Virginia made a promise to her father, and that promise is not working. George Halas is rolling, but also Sleeping Angels is right. The peanut punches just want the McCaskies to sell the team. We just want Virginia to sell the team, and it seems like they might do it because now the grandkids do not want the team.
Really,
they want to give it to the city, and George is angry about it. But here's the problem, George: you haven't done nothing since you became president. The closest we've ever been to a Super Bowl was 2016. Not 2016. Not 2016. What was it called? 2006, and we blew it. And then you had 2011, and then we blew it because Jay Cutler. But yeah, I'm sorry that I had to say it like that, but it's true. Bears fans are waiting for Virginia to go, and they're wanting someone to come in and save the franchise. Okay. Even though she's one of the oldest. I know Jay in the Bay's like, did this man just say this old lady needs to die? No, y'all.
She was still there when you guys, had your success with Cutler.
She's been there since '85.
Oh, so she's seen it all. She's seen
it all. She says she's a diehard Bears fan. She's a diehard member of the team. She's a fan at heart. But here's the problem. You have your son, George McCaskey, as the president, and you have actually not president, chairman, and you have your son-in-law, Ted Phillips, as the president, Ted Phillips. Here's the problem with this. Ted Phillips used to work in the ticket department. George was the consultant for the concession stands and stuff like that. So jerseys and stuff like that. So basically, all of you 49ers fans, you want to know something? We have accountants running day-to-day football operations.
That doesn't sound like a recipe for success.
No, it doesn't. Now, lately, they have done a good job of spending money on what the team really needs, but at the same time, they have not shed their incompetence, like not giving up health insurance to men over 35. And it was so really ironic because this sort of thing happened with Dave Duerson, a former freaking Chicago Bear. Yeah. Bears fans have no misery. So every time when Aaron Rodgers say, I own the Bears, no, Aaron, you don't own the Bears. The McCaskies do. Nobody knows the the trouble we see, but that family. We all know what that family can do to a fan base. It can eat us alive.
I like what Luke Luna has said. He says, we are the better team, talking about the 49ers, and we're better coached. We just haven't been acting like it. And I think this team shows up this Sunday. I would say that we definitely have been beating ourselves the last few weeks with turnovers, with penalties, with not being able to continue drives by not getting first downs on third down opportunities. Last week against the Colts, we were terrible on third downs. We were only 1 for 11. That's not a recipe for success. So those three things will have to change against Chicago this week. Fortunately for us, Chicago is hampered with injuries, especially on the defensive line. Fields has been a turnover machine so far. Last week we had 2 interceptions. I think we can continue that trend this week against the Bears. Now, the one great thing about the Bears offense, they can run the ball. That's going to be an issue for us because we struggle against the run. The Bears defense, they also have the most sacks in the NFL, but they're definitely without at least Khalil Mack. We don't know about Hicks or Robert Quinn. We'll see about those two guys.
I think Hicks will play. I think Hicks will play. I think Hicks will play, but he'll have limited snaps. So if that be the case, we have a chance.
Yeah,
we got a chance.
There's no doubt. Yeah, we're not playing. You know, we're not a 5-1 team, a 6-0 team. This is any given Sunday. Right now, there's 2 teams not playing up to their potential. I know we're favored. I think we're favored by like 4.5, but the way the Niners have been playing, at least on offense, the past few weeks has just been terrible. So we got to get back to the basics. Run the ball with Elijah Mitchell, Jermichael Hasty. The Bears aren't great against the run. And we're gonna have to definitely use play action passing. That's what Jimmy does best. And I know we play the Bears, but I feel like our opponent is ourselves. And what I mean by that is we're beating ourselves with penalties, turnovers, and not being effective on third down. If we don't have as many penalties, no turnovers, maybe we're not completing every third down conversion, but maybe if we're like, I don't know, 8 of 12, 8 of 14, something like that, I think we'll be good.
Yeah. Well, I got news, guys. There is no more undefeated teams in the NFL.
Hey, that's good.
Kyle Murray threw an interception in the end zone. It was targeted for DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins did not look back. And Kyle Murray's just like, oh my God, yeah, you just did a boneheaded play. And like freaking DeAndre Hopkins didn't even know he was getting thrown to. If you look at the replay, so now Green Bay has beaten an unbeaten team. Oh my God.
This is great news for us, obviously, because the Cardinals.
Great news for y'all. It's horrible for us because we all picked the Cardinals to win, and the Cardinals, they failures. This sucks. So you mean to tell me you couldn't beat a Green Bay Packer team with no Devontae Adams?
That's crazy. The Cardinals definitely laid an egg. They laid an egg for sure.
I've come to the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. The Packers are being protected by the NFL. The Packers are going to the Super Bowl. And if they win it, I am done with football for a year. Because I have a father who's a Green Bay Packers fan, and half of my family are Green Bay Packers fans in the Wisconsin area. The Bulls lose and the Cardinals fail. Anything else you want to put at me?
The Niners win on Sunday in the Windy City. I think the Niners will win 24-13. That's what I got.
I mean, for the Bears, though, this is a must-win at home. Kyle Murray, put your head down, dude. Put your freaking head down in shame. Like, how? Like, just.
I gotta ask you, who is on your Mount Rushmore of greatest Chicago Bears players?
Before I answer that, Rogers does not own us. The McCaskies. So Damien, that's Damien. That's an 85 nut job. He has 2 different channels. Goolie, you can call me whatever you want, but let's think about it. If the Bears go 3-14, Nagy and Pace are both out of Chicago. Yes, they're out of Chicago regardless if they make the playoffs or not.
KD, he's got the Niners winning 28-26. Okay.
I think the Bears will win this game at least by 6. That's just me. And plus, you guys don't have Robbie Gold, which is also
we got another kicker. We don't need Robbie Gold.
You sure about that?
Yeah, our other kicker, Mr. Sly, I think he missed 1 field goal, but I think he made the next 3. So, you know.
Yeah, Sleeping Angels work is going to be hella fun for me tomorrow. Like now the Bears Mount Rushmore. All right, here we go. To lead up the charge, the sweetness, Walter Payton. Number 2 for Mount Rushmore for the Chicago Bears, Buckus. Number 3. This is just my opinion, so do not kill me. Number 3 has to go with the man himself. Gotta go. You gotta say Brian Urlacher. And number 4 would have to be, as much as I want to put Mike Brown on there, you gotta put McMahon. Not Vince McMahon, not Shane McMahon, Jim McMahon. That's your 4. Or you can replace Jim McMahon with Charles. Matter of fact, no. I mean, there's a lot for the Mount Rushmore. Devin Hester is one of them. Devin Hester. Well, here's some honorable mentions. Devin Hester, Mike Brown, Charles Tillman, Lance Briggs, the A-Train Anthony Thomas, even though his career was kind of shortened with us. Thomas Jones, Marty Booker, David Terrell, Jerry Azuma, R.W. McQuarters, Mike Green, Jay Cutler, unfortunately, would have to be there because, let's be real, A-side, Jay Cutler is mathematically the best quarterback we've ever had. It really is sad.
Hey, so, okay, now that's a great list. Now, how about narrow it down to the top 4, let's say in the last 20 years? How about that?
In the last 20 years, okay.
Who would you put in your top 4? You named a lot of great names.
Well, number 4, Rex Grossman, man. Oh, God. D. Yeah, this is D.
Hey, to the Super Bowl, baby.
D, you already know that I'm in that agitated state. But if I bring about the Raiders, then I'm wrong. Okay. I mean, at least we beat the Raiders. Thank you, John Gruden. All that I love. Nah, stop. Okay. All right. Now, the last 20 years. Okay. Number 1, Brian Urlacher. Number 2, you gotta put Devin Hester at number 2. Number 3, Mike Brown, and number 4, Charles Tillman.
Okay.
Did you notice that they're all defensive players here?
They are. I mean, the best offensive player the last 20 years. Who do you think that would be? The best offensive player?
Packers win, Bulls lose. Stop it. I freaking hate it. All right, Jay Cutler didn't take us to the Super Bowl in 06. He didn't take us to the Super Bowl, but if you look at his stats, he's the best quarterback the Bears have ever had.
Yeah.
Statistically. Yep. And D, why you got to start with me, dude? I'm already in an People don't know. If I go off, then I'm wrong. So I'm going to try my best to calm down. Yeah, the Bulls lost, but I think we're a better team than the Sixers. The Packers are way better than the Bears and the Raiders combined because of one freaking man. One. Stats don't mean crap. Oh, really, Damien? Really, Damien? Well, that's Jim McMahon, that question, bruh. Dude, stats don't mean anything? Really? Really? Matter of fact, here's the thing, because you know what? I've started. Jay in the Bay, with your permission, I'm going to say something real quick.
Sure, the floor is yours.
Hey, Damien, do me a favor. How's your White Sox doing? Remember you said the Cubs were living in a home? Well, guess what? It's a luxury home. The White Sox are frauds. They're frauds. Screw the South Side. The South Side is full of failures. And you brought back Tommy La Russa as your manager. Congratulations. You're going to ruin the White Sox again. You going, wait, you all out, blowing out D with your Sixers. Just stop. Hey, at least Chicago had Jordan and Derrick Rose at his prime. That is true. That is true. What has the White Sox done? And yeah, here's another thing too, Damien. What have the White Sox done since 2005? Yeah, people say, oh, it took y'all 100 years to win the World Series. But guess what, dude? 2016. The poster of 2016, at least we got one. What have y'all done since 05? Not a goddamn thing.
Well, I would say it's been a pleasure. I'm glad that we were able to connect and talk about our 49ers and Bears. Obviously, you think the Bears are going to win. I respect that. I think the 49ers are going to win. But where can people find you on social media? Go ahead, plug your social media. The floor is yours.
Well, you can plug me at Malcgoolie on Twitter and on Instagram. It is just as it's spelled here, Malcgoolie. And you can subscribe to Malcgoolie. Who crossover? Who crossover Jordan? AI, come on, Goolie. How many rings does Allen Iverson has with the Sixers? 0. How many rings? How many rings do the Sixers have as an organization? I'm pretty sure 1. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument the Bulls haven't done anything since 1998, but at least they got 6 championships.
KD says,
boy. If come face to face with Aaron Rodgers, what would you say to him? I would say to him,
he's the GOAT.
No, I wouldn't call him the GOAT because that's a disrespect to Drew Brees and Tom Brady. I would tell him to please retire, please host Jeopardy so I can never see you again in Green Bay. And also, please, for the love of God, go somewhere else if you decide not to retire. It would be funny if you went to Denver so D can literally tear his hair out because, number one, now he has to deal with not only Justin Herbert, but also not only Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, but he can also have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. That would really be hilarious.
Thanks for
coming through. Also, let me read this. He said Ben Simmons the best. This is why Charlotte Flair is keeping the title. Charlotte Flair is a spoiled little brat after especially what happened on SmackDown. But you are happy with the fact that your champion just threw the freaking title belt out of a hissy fit. Anyway, LOL, you want to go there. Don't talk about Michael Jordan. I don't think anybody here is not going to talk about Michael Jordan. Now, if you can talk about Michael, if there's anything bad about you want to talk about Michael, talk about his ownership and leadership with the Charlotte Hornets. I think Charlotte would love to have a word with you there. I'm from LA. Just wanted to stop by and show some love. I'm out.
That's a valid point.
Go to the XFL. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to the XFL. But also, isn't it kind of weird that Aaron Rodgers kind of have a ring in the NBA as well? We on top of the division of the AFC West. Bring Aaron to our division. He will stink in our division.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know
that. I don't know about that. I mean, the Raiders looking good, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers. I think there's no doubt Aaron Rodgers is better than Carr, right? I mean, it's not really even a debate. I'm
not going to get into that debate because D will low key go Super Saiyan in here.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that argument with a 9-foot pole.
Denver's not good. I would agree.
The Broncos are who we thought they were. The Panthers are who we thought they were. And according to the Cardinals are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. So you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
All-time great rant, man. But I gotta say, thank you for everyone who watched the stream tonight. Thank you for everyone who contributed to the stream with their conversations in the chat. Shout out Blue True for the super chat. Also, shout out to everyone watching J and the Bay Facebook, J and the Bay YouTube, my Twitter. And make sure you leave a like on the stream. I would appreciate it. Check out the Spotlight Sports Network. There's a ton of content creators there who cover baseball, football, basketball, wrestling, anything. They have it there at the Spotlight Sports Network. And make sure you subscribe to Malcoolie's YouTube channel. The link is in the description. And also, he's got IG, he's got Twitter. Make sure you follow him there. But everyone have a great weekend. I'm excited for the game. Obviously, I think my Niners are going to pull through and stop this losing streak. And you feel your Bears are going to win. But I respect that. But I'm looking forward to the game, man.
I'm looking forward with it too. I think me and Tay-Rock will be doing that game together.
Nice.
So yeah, that's 3 straight 49ers fans that I will be having here a lot. So yeah, you know, people say a lot about the 49er fan base, and you know, they're not that bad. They're respectable. At least you're not like Green Bay Packers fans.
Absolutely, man. Well, you have a good rest of your night, man. It's good to connect with you. And I'm looking forward to the game, man. You have a good rest of your night, though.
Thank you. You too.
All right, man. All right, so that was Malcgoolie representing the Chicago Bears. He represents the Chicago Bears well. And I'm looking forward to the game this Sunday in the Windy City playing against the Chicago Bears. And I appreciate everyone for coming through to this stream tonight. And make sure you guys tune in to J and the Bay on YouTube. You can always tune in for the latest 49ers news. And I will be doing a pregame live stream, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this Sunday. We'll talk about the 49ers and Bears game. I will be having a guest with me, APW Sports, as well. For this Sunday during the pregame show, we'll get his thoughts on the Bears. And, I think as long as we take care of the ball, we don't turn the ball over, we don't have excessive penalties, we're able to convert on third down, I think the Niners should be able to win this game. And like I said before, can't wait for the game. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your night. Great weekend. And thanks for watching your boy, J in the Bay. And make sure you check out Malcgoolie. Links are in the description. Check him out. And also check out the Spotlight Sports Network. And, of course, check out J in the Bay. If you haven't already subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go Niners. Like I said before, Niners should win this game 24-13. Let's get it. Go Niners.